I'll start off by just saying hello, everyone. I was late, and I just appreciate everyone gathering today and putting this together, and for hosting us. And so why Julie gets the collection going. I'm Heidi, and I'm having problems sharing my video. So unfortunately, well, you'll be able to look at the beautiful Edelweiss collection, but I'm glad you can hear my voice. So I'm really happy to be presenting today amongst such wonderful books, and I'm always just so grateful to be working in the field of children's publishing amongst such thoughtful books and creators and the folks that bring them to children. And it's so chaotic, and everybody has such busy schedules. And so thanks again for the opportunity. Again, I'm Heidi, and here's our Edelweiss collection. I'm the publisher of Blue Dot Kids Press, and I'm really excited to present today. I'm a California native, and Blue Dot Kids Press is a small independent children's press with a big mission located in San Francisco, California. And we're proudly distributed by Consortium, an Ingram brand. And so of course you could always, please do reach out to the local California rep team, Ellen, Lisa, and Mark about our books and find us there at Consortium. So our name is a nod to Carl Sagan's famous ode to our home planet Earth, the pale blue dot, and a reminder for us all to preserve and care for our home. Our authors and illustrators are we really believe that stories are a powerful vehicle for empathy, and our book in the lens of what it means to live on planet. You'll see that and lead fall tops their systems, empathy, resilience, creativity. Focus area is nature, environment, and conservation topics. We are gathering of you, next generation of global citizens and nature stewards. So I've been very optimistic with the warm response we've received this year with our debut year. Woo, 2020 with our debut list. And in fact, even with this backdrop of chaos this year, we've received numerous starred reviews. We've had so much positive response, and we feel so grateful for that. We've had starred reviews for actually 6 out of our 8 titles, and the one I'm going to jump into right now has 3 starred reviews, so we're really excited about that. So up first is Jacob's Fantastic Flight. You can see that there. Thank you, Julie, on the cover. The stars are definitely shining on this book. Jacob's Fantastic Flight has earned 3 starred pre-publication reviews from Kirkus and PW and Booklist. Booklist called Jacob's Fantastic Flight Delight, and Kirkus loved its high-flying humor and heart. So it's humorous, which we all need right now, and it's also about embracing the unknown. It's about a little boy who can fly, and what little child doesn't dream of flying? Heck, I dream of flying. And so it's a crowd pleaser all around, and his parents are himself. So along the way, he meets new friends and has wonderful adventures. It's really this mini hero's journey in a kid's book, and it shows what happens when a child uses their imagination, their strengths and differences to help others in needs. So Philip, the author and illustrator, he's a recent Bologna Ragazzi Comics Award honoree. You can really see his signature comic style in the book. It's really approachable and fun. And this book offers discussion opportunities about helpfulness, celebrating strengths, teamwork, and cooperation, which we all know are important 21st century skills for global citizens today. So again, encouraging, humorous, uplifting book. I really hope you will check it out. And here you can see some of the internal images. So moving on, I'm just checking the time. So yeah, moving on to the next one on our list. Oh, we're really proud of this one as well. This one is available now. It's My Favorite Memories. You can see the cover there. It's a beautiful, simple story about moving to a new home, exploring themes of change and permanence, and told with warm illustrations from a multi-award-winning illustrator. It offers parents and educators a gentle but impactful way to discuss the ideas of resilience, along with complex life events like immigration and moving to a new home. as we all know, children dealing with change and leaving things behind is a universal topic. This speaks to that. This is a realistic fiction story, like so many of our stories, and told in a simple, approachable style for a complex subject matter, really focusing on social emotional learning. The illustrator is a White Raven Award winner, and this book, actually the German version this year, won the Bologna Ragazzi 2020 Award for Fiction. So beautiful illustrations throughout, and it has a star review from Booklist. So this is great for, again, teacher, parent lists, resilience, inner resources, new experience, and moving integration. And then moving on to our next title, is The Day Seda Arrived. And here we've got the cover coming up. So this is great to pair with my favorite memories. It focuses on empathy and also immigration. This book really celebrates the universal language of friendship and the power of language to build bonds beyond borders. So this young girl is searching for the words to help her friend feel welcome and happy in her new home. And along the way, she learns about differences and similarities in countries and words. And the two forge this forever friendship by learning each other's language and exploring the world around them. So it really offers a kid-appropriate, fresh approach to immigration. We all know that's an in-demand topic in U.S. children's literature right now. It talks about learning from others and about respect and empathy. And it really comes from a place of empathy and begins from that place of empathy. And again, expresses a complex subject matter in an approachable and encouraging story. It has over 20 words in Arabic and English and includes a full Arabic and English alphabet in the back matter. Kirkus really got this book when they said, remarkably, the exchange between the two new friends presents the two languages and cultures as equal and the learning as reciprocal, offering a great resource for learning about immigration and cultural differences. So if you're, again, working with schools or putting their parent list, this is great for friendship, empathy, and immigration. So I'm gonna do 5-10, I believe that's my 10 minutes. You can look at our Edelweiss collection, please do. I believe that's in the chat. My email is in the chat. I know everybody mentioned this, but really do follow us on social media. We offer a lot of great citizen science activities, giveaways. Our resource page has resources for teachers, and I'm always looking forward to talking with you about more partnerships. So email me anytime, and thank you so much for everything you do every day. Thank you. Be well.
Good morning. I'm Susan McConnell from Ingram, representing Two Rivers Distribution, Ingram Publisher Services, and Publishers Group West. I sure do miss being with you all and the spontaneous and fun repartee with my publisher colleagues that we have live and in person. I hope that you, your families, and bookseller colleagues are all well during these unusual times. So let's begin with Two Rivers. There are 10 backlist titles in the Baby's Big World board book series from the Peterson's imprint, BES. The 3 new editions this fall are Economics, Geography, and Geometry. Geometry terms are presented in bright colors for easy identification, and adorable babies demonstrate important concepts like angles, shapes, and volume. Teddy bears are used to explain supply and demand in economics. Geography includes colorful maps, animals, and simple text introduces baby to their big world through opposites like hot and cold and night and day. At $8.99, these make great holiday gifts, and they ship in October. Pictured are 3 titles released earlier this year that you may have missed. Young, Fearless, Awesome. 25 Young People Who Changed the World, also published by BES, includes short bios of well-known newsmakers like Greta Thunberg and Malala Yousafzai, as well as civil rights activist Claudette Colvin, Olympic gold medalist archer Kim Soo-young, and Felix Finkbinder, who has planted over 1 trillion trees worldwide. The format is perfect for reluctant readers, with graphic illustrations, introductions, bios, and text arranged for dipping into or reading at 1 or 2 sittings. A good companion read with the Rad series by Kate Schatz. Hardcover $16.99, shipping in October. On to Ingram Publisher Services. She Rides Like the Wind is the story of extraordinary and courageous Italian cyclist Alfonsina Strada. Called the Devil in a Dress and Queen of Pedals, that's Pedals, she resisted conformity, winning her first race at 13 and going on to make headlines in 1924 as the first woman to compete in the prestigious Giro d'Italia bike race. International award-winning illustrator and author Joan de Grescolor has brightly and boldly brought Alfonsina's journey to life, beginning with her childhood in the Italian province of Emilia-Romagna, discovering her love of cycling, her longing for freedom, and the journey through her impressive career, which lasted 26 years. Published by Little Gestalten, it shipped last month, 1995. Wildlife on Paper, published by West Margin, which is owned by Ingram, full disclosure, and based in Berkeley. Award-winning Indian visual artist Kunal Kundu takes us on a journey around the world through the oceans, forests, deserts, and more to learn about the diversity of these endangered animals and their incredible characteristics. Look at his amazing crumpled paper art. He shapes the paper and then superimposes the animals on digital environments. This is not just for children, but a perfect holiday gift book for anyone on your list at $18.99. Kundu creates his sculptures sourced from eco-friendly paper companies that plant a tree for every ream of paper sold. Next up, Mary, The Adventures of Mary Shelley's great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter, published by 6 Foot Press. This is a young adult graphic novel, $18.99, 144 pages, illustrated in full color by Yishan Liu, a manga artist. Author Bria Grant is an actress, filmmaker, writer, and director. Both have impressive resumes. This has gotten so many great reviews on Edelweiss that I am sharing Emma Flattery from Davidson, North Carolina's peer review. An imaginative take on finding out who you really are and standing up to external pressure to behave a certain way. I love the idea that Mary Shelley sparked a line of creative literary women and also got deeply identified with the present-day Mary struggle to define herself in light of this legacy. The monster element made this graphic novel even more fun. If you're looking for a spooky yet heartwarming book to get you in the mood for fall, I'd highly recommend picking up a copy of Mary when it comes out in October. I couldn't have said it better. I also noticed in peer shelves that Jocelyn from Bookshop Santa Cruz is anticipating Mary. She's coming on October 6th. On to PGW. While We Can't Hug is the perfect picture book for these days of social distancing from Faber and Faber, written by Ian McLaughlin and illustrated by Polly Dunbar. This is the second book in the Hedgehog and Tortoise story series. The first was The Hug, an indie favorite. Best friends Hedgehog and Tortoise want to give each other a great big hug, but they aren't allowed to touch. They discover other ways that you can show someone that you love them. The two friends wave to each other, blow kisses, sing songs, dance around and write letters, and even though they can't hug and they can't touch, they both know that they are loved. This shipped in August and is $15.95. Animals Brag About Their Bottoms is written and illustrated by Maki Sato, using traditional Japanese art techniques. Published by Greystone Kids, $16.95, coming the end of this month. This bum-bragging contest between bears, giraffes, rabbits, monkeys, sheep, and more is a funny and clever way to engage children in identifying the various animals. Susie Ho from Hicklebees posted this on Edelweiss. This book is hysterical. I love it. A celebration of butts in their infinite variety. Thank you, Susie. Cone Cat by Sarah Howden, illustrated by Carmen Mock from Al Kids at $17.95, is a PGW in-house favorite. Jeremy wakes up at the vet's with a giant cone around his head. In a momentary existential crisis, he resigns himself to his new role as clumsy, smelly Cone Cat, That is, until the cone becomes instrumental in lapping up the last few bites of cereal on the breakfast table, as well as hunting spiders with ease, collecting stuffing from the couch, and disguising himself as a bowl to steal a scoop of ice cream at a birthday party. When the cone is removed the next day, Jeremy starts to miss it. Will anything compare with his glory days as Cone Cat? This hilarious picture book has a message about adapting in a time when we are all struggling with change. Available now. The Paper Boat, also from Al Kids, is a wordless picture book by Thal Lamb. Thal also wrote an illustrated wallpaper, Skunk on a String, and My Dad Looks Like My Cat. A Kirkus Review's most anticipated picture book of fall 2020, The Paper Boat also received starred reviews from Kirkus, Booklist, and SLJ. Thal's heartfelt immigration story is inspired by her family's refugee journey from Vietnam to Canada. Her signature collage art intertwines her personal experience with an ant colony's parallel narrative, 1795, and shipping this month. I briefly wanted to mention Susie Esterhouse's memoir, My Wild Life, Adventures of a Wildlife Photographer, coming next month. Susie lives in Petaluma when she's not traveling the world, capturing animals in their natural habitats with her camera. Susie's previous titles include Sea Otter Rescue, Moto and Me, and Baby Animals Moving. I love this cover shot of meerkats using Susie to block the wind. Many of you know Madeline Dunphy, publisher of Oakland-based Web of Life children's books. Pika Country, Climate Change at the Top of the World, is out today. These amazing little mountain-dwelling mammals are found in Asia and North America. Increasing temperatures have forced pika populations to migrate to a higher and higher elevation. Pretty soon, they won't be able to get any higher. Their behavior is a bellwether of climate change. It's Nice to Be a Pika is a backless board book from Heyday Books in Berkeley, which also features this important little creature. Last but not least, reminders of some excellent young adult series. The third book in the best-selling Mirror Visitor Quartet, The Memory of Babel by Christelle Davos, has just shipped. Ophelia, the mirror-traveling heroine, finds herself on the Ark of Babel, guarding a secret that may provide a key both to the past and the future. From the quote, New York Times, Ophelia is the tiny voice powerhouse you can't take your eyes off of. From Europa Editions, publishers of Elena Ferrante's My Brilliant Friend and The Lying Life Adults. The next book in the #1 New York Times bestselling series, created by the late, great Kobe Bryant and written by Ivy Clare, is Apoka, The River of Sand. Set in an alternative classical world dominated by sports and a magical power called Grana, Apoka is the story of two children, the lowly born Rovi and the crown princess Pratia, who uncover the battle, terrible evil, and discover their inner strength along the way. Readers of the first book will be eager to find out the next steps in Pratia and Rovi's journey. Like the first book, it's a beautiful package at $16.99, coming in December. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm wishing you all a successful and healthy fall season.
Alrighty, and next up we have Alia Almeida. You're ready?
Yes, I am ready. Hello, my name is Alia Almeida. I am the telephone sales rep for HMH Books and Media. I will be presenting kids' books to you. I have a short list so we can get into the details of them. And I'm going to share my screen. In the meantime, I apologize because I see that I have a lot of tabs, which is a good indication of my mental space. Okay, The Ravens by Danielle Page and Cass Morgan. I really love this book. I get very frustrated at times with YA books, because especially trilogies or duologies, because they always leave you on that cliffhanger. And I'm so happy to say that The Ravens does not do that at all. You're very satisfied at the end, and you are not, you don't know what's gonna happen in this book. And I think this is a great time for witches to come back. I think we need a lot of, you know, a lot of witchcraft these days. But what I love about this is that this is a story told from two different perspectives, two young women who are starting college. And they're very different. They have different backgrounds, and they don't like each other at first. And what I, you know, like they, by virtue of one of the new girls joining the sorority, and she kind of, they're forced to kind of spend more and more time together. So this is definitely a plot adventure based story, but it's also at the end of the day like a story truly about sisterhood, and how you can find sisterhood through blood, you can find sisterhood in your friendships, or in a sorority, which many young women do in college. And I just think it's really delightful and fun. And another element that I really love about the Ravens is that they use a magic system that is based off of tarot cards. So while employing the elements, there are suits like such as the suit of cups is related to water magic and also illusion. So you kind of have this beautiful blend of contemporary merging in with magic, and it's just very delightful. I think you could be a teenager, or you could just be perhaps a 29-year-old woman who just needs to read something like this and have a little bit of fun. I love this. This goes on sale November 3rd, and we still have signed editions available for ordering. This next book is on sale now, and it just got announced last week for the National Book Award short long list, and I'm so happy because Tracy Chi has done something that is necessary in order to capture a moment of time, and that is she's played with format and perspective to tell the story of intimate stories of teenagers who were in Japanese internment camps. Tracy tells this from 14 different perspectives, and she even challenged herself to write one of those perspectives, Tommy's, in poetry. And I think that is very true to how we operate sometimes. You know, we don't always think in these full sentences, we think in these visceral fragments that are tied together. We do think in poetry, so what better format for that? You know, We Are Not Free touches upon this American story that I think it's very important that nobody forgets it. And you know, recently with certain studies showing that kids are forgetting or they don't have a full understanding of the Holocaust, it's more important than ever that we have that reflect in our books as well. Next one. Okay, Maya and the Rising Dark. So this just pubbed today by Rena Barron, who you may know her for Kingdom of Souls, published by HarperCollins. We have her middle grade, and Maya and the Rising Dark is just a very, very delightful contemporary fantasy for middle graders. It plays on the chosen one trope and kind of twists it on its head, because in Maya and the Rising Dark, and I won't have a lot of spoilers, but what I love about it is that she's not the only chosen one. In fact, Maya needs to go and save her father from this evil Odisha spirit, and in order to do that, she needs help from her friends, from her neighbors, and even her teacher goes out and helps her. So I just think this is such a delightful read, and I'm going to read to you what Lamar Giles, who you'll hear a little bit about him shortly, but he had this beautiful thing to say about Maya and the Rising Dark.
Sorry, Alia, were you trying to change your screen? It's still on the Ravens. Sorry.
Oh, really? Oh, snap. You don't see, it's not moving at all?
Yeah, I just see the Ravens.
Okay, wait 1 second. I'm going to go back and reshare. Okay, can you see?
Awesome, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so Just to make sure that you saw the beautiful cover for We Are Not Free. This is it. I think it's really gorgeous and different, very different. And then going back to Maya and the Rising Dark, which is a totally different color palette. I'm gonna read to you what Lamar Giles said. Maya is the kind of hero the whole world needs. If you're dwelling into the dark, you couldn't ask for a better protector or a better read. And I think that's right on the nose. It's a delightful fantasy read that touches upon, it's a very important theme that kids need to know, which is choices. How do you fight the darkness? And there are multiple ways, which leads me to my next book, The Last Mirror on the Left by Lamar Giles and illustrated by Dapo Adeola. Lamar Giles also touches upon this theme of like choices, and what I love, you really see that in The Last Day of Summer, which is book 1 of the legendary Austen Boys. But in The Last Mirror on the Left, he really delves into this heavy topic, like into certain heavy topics such as like worrying for someone who's just had a health scare, or confronting like your own death as a young child. I think he handles that in a spectacular way while having just the most inane of adventures. In this second series, The Last Mirror on the Left, Otto and Sheed, who are cousins, they go from alternate timeline to alternate timeline. And within each alternate timeline, things are a little bit different. There's one where they are fish and their rivals, the epic Ellisons, are dolphins, which I'm a little jealous of the Ellisons because I think I would probably be something like a puffer fish, or, you know, just something totally embarrassing. Or in another one, everything is taken literally. So Otto is very small and stout in this other world, but it's very delightful. And I think this series is just wonderful, as I said, because Lamar Giles does focus on dealing with light versus darkness. Book 1 is available today in paperback, while we have a book 2 coming out later next month on October 20th. And then my next book is Lights on Wonder Rock. So this is already on sale, and I love this story. I think, you know, I grew up with The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein, and I always got kind of annoyed for the tree because she gives everything. And this feels like a friendship story in that vein. It's not necessarily about giving, but it's about how friendships can last forever. They can last eons even, and you don't have to be of the same background. Lights on Wonder Rock explores this, is almost wordless, but is not. And explores this young girl, Heather, who meets and befriends an alien. And she's so excited. They have a wonderful time, and they draw together and share more from their own worlds. And Heather's so delighted that she wants to meet her alien friend again. And years pass by, and Heather doesn't stay on that rock forever, which I very much appreciate. Like I told you, I was very sad for that tree. I hope she lived a life beyond that boy. But anyways, Heather decides, you know, she has to get on with her life. She has to do other things. She has a career to look forward to, a family, more friends to make. And she's never forgotten this alien friend despite that. And while going back to sit on Wonder Rock, look who comes back. It's her alien friend. And thankfully at the end, I will spoil it, she's able to share her friend and introduce them to all the new people in her life that she's brought in. And that concludes my pitching. It was very short, but I wanted to focus on some of these.